Good evening, Central Indiana. Welcome to JTH Construction Studio, where tonight we have a familiar face joining us in studio. It looks, oh my goodness. I know. And you're not centered on the camera over there.
Well, it's because you had me use this one over there.
Okay, hang on.
Center?
And you can see that big mess of stuff behind you.
I just love that. Oh gosh, that is a mess.
You want to scoot over to cold zone? Perfect, right there. All right, Beth is a part of MeCAP. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Real quick though, I don't want to thank our sponsors, American Basement Solutions, Mr. Larry Ralph Sr. Get a hold of Larry for all your foundation needs. My cards are gone. I am frustrated. Wellsprings, Bob Goodrum's group. If you got stuff you want to drop off, clothes, food, things like that, get a hold of Bob over at Wellsprings. They take care of a lot of the homeless situation here in town. Teresa Mesmer from Fathom Real Estate. Get a hold of Teresa for all your real estate needs. And I'll hit the others as we move forward. And
I'm sharing.
What happened to my feed? Oh, I'm live.
Chris?
Yeah. Nicole, can you hear us?
Hello, everyone.
Corey, can you hear us? It went dead there for a minute. You get to experience some of the good stuff, Beth. Happens on a nightly basis. Good old Xfinity. Yeah. 3 bills a month. All right. Real quick. Best part of MeCAP, and they're dealing with the contaminations and all that. And they're starting something. There's a project they got going on right now. And she's going to explain that much better than I will. So I'm going to turn it over to her. Beth, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Been busy. Do anything last weekend?
Was that last weekend? That was 2 weekends ago.
Was it? We still have stuff here to pick up.
We do have stuff. We need some names.
Well, I just talked to Shrek. She's going to come pick it up, but he can hear us now. Okay.
So the MeCAP project.
MeCAP.
So that stands for
MeCAP.
the Martinsville Environmental Community Action Project. So kind of our coin name for the project. The project name, the official name, is actually much longer than that. Where's it here?
Oh, you brought all your goods, didn't you?
Yeah, I brought.
Oh, I got that somewhere.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
I can't say it without reading it. Addressing tetrachloroethylene exposure in an impacted community.
Hello, Trace.
Residents' concerns, neurotoxic effects, and exposure reduction. So, for anyone out there that is unaware, there are 4 known plumes in the city of Martinsville. So,
sorry,
okay.
I've got a plume.
You're still getting better.
Slowly.
So a plume is like a cloud in the soil underground. Rose free. Anyway, so we've been tracking these plumes, and this is our second project. Try to see if there is any correlation between PCE exposure and neurobehavioral health impact.
I'm going to interrupt because I sat in a meeting with you guys, and there's a lot of good information. I'm part of that one group. I don't know what group it
CAB?
is. What is
Community Advisory Board.
Not MeCAP, but
CAB.
CAB. I don't know if you guys know the situation with my brother, but my parents both died of cancer. My nephew's had cancer. My brother's already fought it once. He's going through it again. We've done several shows with cancer, from Bridget to John Martin, and John Martin's going to be back in. There's a reason why there's a cancer center here in Martinsville. Folks, take what they're talking about serious. You have to get hit in the face with it. If you're not directly affected by it, you're going to think, I don't care. We're all directly affected by it. Whether it been the drinking water from 40 years ago or the soil now, there's some bad stuff. So They don't want me as their point guy. Trust me, because I'm the one in the meeting that said they were curious on how to get this out to the public. I was like, you can't sugarcoat it. You have to tell them.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, who invited him? So anyway.
So a lot of people have heard
People
about
love
the
me.
plume that is from the Masterwear facility that stretches northwest over to where like the ball fields area. So the EPA is watching that one. That one is a Superfund site.
That's our only Superfund site.
They have stated how they're going to clean that up, but they have not even started cleaning that up. And once they do start, they said that it should be cleaned up in about 17 years.
Hello, Mike. Hello, Nick. Got that fly out of midair. Sorry to hear that, Nick.
So, personally, that's the best idea, I don't think. 17 years.
The EPA said it's going to take 17 years.
Once they start their process.
When
I don't know the details of how they're cleaning it up, but that's what they had stated.
When that engineering group is almost done with that one plume in less than 3 years.
So there's another plume east of that plume.
Right along Morgan
Street.
Yeah.
Yes. That one is called the O'Neill plume. It's another plume caused by a dry cleaning. And
do I have those photos? Can I look? Did you send me those? I'm afraid to click on some of these.
You can't see what they look like? Oh, they're only names, aren't they?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I deleted everything on there.
But the O'Neill plume is actually being taken care of by the insurance company of the company that caused the contamination. And so Wilcox is working on that plume, and they're using a product called Plume Stop. It's a bacteria that's injected into the ground, and that bacteria eats the PCE and just neutralizes it.
Yep. So
from start to finish for that cleanup is 3 years.
And they're almost done.
They're about a year. They probably have one more year. And then that one should be cleaned up. And then there are two others on the kind of the south side of the city of Martinsville. They run parallel to each other. One is called the Twig plume and the Harmon Becker plume, but they were both caused by Twig. Harmon Becker just hit with the name. I don't know how that happened, but
Tracy, it happens all over in Indiana, but we're of course we're only focusing on the ones here in Martinsville.
Yeah. So no one is talking about what to do about those two plumes, about the Twig plume and the Harmon Becker plume. There's no plans for cleaning that one up right now. If you live on one of those, the Twig or Harmon Becker plumes, and you talk with IDEM and they test your home and they find that it has elevated exposure,
vapor intrusion.
Yeah, then they'll pay to get a mitigation system installed in your house, which is kind of like a radon mitigation system.
How you doing, Dan? Hello, Mike. Yeah, so it's basically a radon. If you've ever seen how to radon tester kit in your house, it's gonna funnel the air right out.
But with this one, they actually encapsulate the whole bottom of the house.
Really?
Yes, encapsulate the whole bottom of the house, and then the fans are put in to where no air that's coming up out of the soil can enter the home. So as soon as it comes up, it gets exited right out from under the building, whether it's a home or a business or what have you.
But that plume runs from Twig all the way out across the interstate, across the bypass, and it's heading towards White River.
Yes, and it's in that area. It's also not PCE any longer. It has vinyl chloride, which is extremely
flammable,
and extremely dangerous.
It's the stuff that blew up in the train over
outside.
Yeah, East Palestine.
Yes. So yeah, they're worried about that reaching its way to some retention ponds that could eventually White River. There's some. Wow. So they're watching that.
That's scary.
So what we're doing is, backing up. Some of the viewers may have heard about the children's study that we did last year. It kind of went on for about a year and a half. And we studied children ages 6 to 11, and we collected their exhale breath and had them do some iPad assessments to check their neurobehavioral health, and those results will be coming out very. But we're doing the same thing for adults. But in addition to the exhale breath testing and the iPad assessment testing, there will also be vision screenings, color vision screenings, because PCE is thought to cause color blindness.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So for this study, we received a grant from the NIH. It's a 5-year project. We're currently in year 2. In year 1, it's what started August of 2022. So for year 1, we conducted some focus groups, trying to find out what the community's perceptions are regarding the examination. And now this year, we're going to actually start working with community members. So last year, and I don't have one to show, or last week,
you didn't.
I don't have one. I mean, I searched my email. I don't think one's ever been sent. But anyway, late last week, postcards were mailed.
Hi, from sunny Florida. No, not that kind.
They're kind of similar to this flyer. They have this green color. I believe they have this picture on.
Is that you guys?
Well, yes.
Thank you, Randa.
It's us, and then some other, like Don Lips is on here. Austin.
I didn't get invited to that
Peggy's
photo
on
shoot.
here. You were working. But
I wasn't invited.
Be watching for a postcard that matches this. Don't throw it away.
Yeah, this is critical.
Yes. So what's happening is, what we did with the children's study is we went all over the city. We were at the farmer's market. We were at basketball games. We were at the baseball diamonds. We were anywhere that we could be. We were at school open houses. We went everywhere that kids and families would be to try to get parents to sign up their kids for that study. This go around, it's not anybody that wants to participate. So, computer program is randomly choosing homes in the city, and postcards have been mailed out to 100 of those homes.
What number are you trying to hit?
In the end, 300. We want 300 participants.
Thank you, Dan.
So if you get a postcard, you'll notice that it doesn't have your name on it because we're not looking, the computer doesn't know who lives in each place. It just has the street addresses. But the postcard will have a identifying number. And
hello, Amanda.
And it'll tell you what to do. So there's a phone number you call. Kind of goes through the process.
So you'll be doing this at least 3 times then. 100, right? Probably more.
Yeah. Well, 100 have been sent out now. We're going to see kind of how it goes because, something comes in the mail, gets tossed a lot. It happens in my house, so I understand that.
You throw political ads away? We all do.
Yeah.
Activate Star Party.
Yeah, we have already had people calling in. You can also text the number. So you could text and we can get back with you. Or if you call the number and no one answers, we do have a voicemail. You can just leave a voicemail and we'll call you back.
So you guys got your own phone number now?
Kind of like an online. So if somebody calls it, my phone is supposed to ring as well as Stephanie Littell's and Monica. Monica works.
Okay.
So it's all 3 of our phones are supposed to, hoping that one will be able to answer. But if you choose to participate and you complete the entire program, see, where's it at? It's on here. There's compensation of $95 of, to give the breath sample and to do the iPad testing and vision screenings.
Now, so wait, I could make $95?
Yes, you could. If you're chosen.
Was I chosen?
I don't know. Did you get a postcard? Have you checked your mail?
I don't check my mail.
You have to check your mail. There might be a postcard. There could be one in your mailbox right now, and I could be showing it on the screen. Yeah.
I haven't even been to that end of the house yet tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I believe it. Has anybody asked any questions, like how it works?
Dan Downing gave 99.
Oh, gave some stars. Nice.
Randa gave stars. Amanda said hello. Dan said good evening. Tracy said, wow, is this just Martinsville or surrounding areas? Nick said he got hit in the face with it. Mike said hello. So, no questions yet. Of course,
So
I always have questions, oh, you know that, especially on this topic.
I'll be looking at this a little bit, but just to give some history, it was, let's see,
I was
late
in here late one
80s.
night, and I went through that, if you want to know the truth. I talked about
good.
Morgan County being the #1 per capita.
Yes. So late 80s, early 90s
I stick with it.
is when the dry cleaner. So what happened was with the dry cleaning and companies and with Twig, they were dumping their waste down the storm drains.
But they weren't doing anything illegal at that point in time.
If the storm drains are old,
Yeah.
cracked, if that wasn't the case, then that liquid would have made its way to the treatment plant and been treated and probably been fine.
I wouldn't say that.
Well,
it probably would have, because they put the charcoal in, what, 2000?
right, but when it got to the treatment plant,
Right.
it would have.
Maybe
That's
so.
that's what I've been told by
Sure, maybe so.
by the people that know a lot more than me. But that
There's
didn't
Ken
happen.
Belt.
So, hey Ken, old lines, cracked lines. So while that product is traveling down the storm sewer, it's also leaching out into the soil. Of course, we all live on a big aquifer here, so it did get into the water, but it wasn't discovered in the city's water until 2002. And they believe that it began to be happening late 80s. So it was in the water for years at least before it was discovered. So it was discovered, and then of course they got to figure out what they're going to do about it. So in 2005, a giant carbon filtration system was installed, and with our latest water testing that we did just this spring, we tested 10 different locations in the city.
Yes, you did, and I was on that list.
Yeah, Kevin was on that list, and at every single one of them, PCE was undetectable. So that carbon filtration system is working.
It's been working.
Yes.
And from what I understand is when Scotty first put it in, he went above and beyond. He went double what was suggested used by the EPA and everybody else. And so he knocked it out pretty quick.
Good.
And I think they've stuck to that plan.
Yeah. Let's see. 2013 is when that area that we were talking about in the northwest corner of the city deemed a Superfund site when the EPA started looking at it. So that's 2013. This is 2023.
10 years.
And it was it last year that they finally decided how they're going to clean it up, or the year before? I can't remember, it was 21 or 22.
I lost a whole year and a half.
I think it was 21. I know, me too. I think it was 21. And then they said they were going to start cleaning it up in 23, but here we are, middle of September, and it hasn't happened yet. So hopefully they start on that soon. Yes. Oh, I have it right here. 2021, record of decision. And 2023, expected remediation to begin. But like I said, that hasn't happened.
But they're talking 14 years?
17.
17 years to clean that up, and Wilcox is doing it in 3. At probably the third the cost.
I mean, the plume stop material is expensive, and I think that's one reason the EPA is not going to do it. But come on. Health over numbers.
Somebody's paying for it. The government doesn't do things for free.
No.
We know this.
I'll just show this picture here. You can see.
It's perfect right there.
Okay.
Do not even move.
So vapor intrusion. So what happens is, even though you're not drinking or bathing PCE through your full tap water, it still could be entering your home. So it's in the soil. So what happens is it rises up through the soil and can come in through cracks in your basement or dirt basement floor in a lot of the old homes.
Yeah, anytime you disturb the soil too, it could come up, just like radon.
Right. So what happens is if it does come up through the soil outside your home, as soon as sunlight hits it, it dissipates, comes up into your home. You're just sitting there breathing it. You're just being exposed to it. Now, these are very low levels. This isn't, this isn't a high level contamination situation. But
over long haul,
no one has ever done any research except for us. And with the children's study, it was the first one.
In the country?
Anywhere in the world.
Really?
Yes.
You guys are groundbreaking.
Yes.
Hello, Joe.
Yes. First ones to ever do any type of research involving low-level long-term exposure to PCE
That's pretty
and
remarkable
its
that
possible health effects. Yes.
you guys leading the point on that.
I know. Right. Very cool.
Very cool.
Yes. So that's vapor intrusion. Let's see. What other stuff is in here that people might hear and not know there?
My question, can I ask a question now?
Yes. Can't promise I have an answer.
I saw a post where they look like they're getting ready to drill a new well. Did you see that?
I saw that post, but I didn't see the. But it's the same situation where the EPA has said if you were to move your well field that's going to supply your city,
Yeah.
then we're not going to worry about cleaning this up.
But that was what they were doing.
We'd have to get the. I mean, I don't know.
And do you know where that was at? Oh, I
That
almost
was
had
like
him.
a bird. That fly was so big.
Oh, I'm gonna get him. You know where that was at? Directly in line with the plume running down Poston Road.
Oh, I thought you were going to be talking about over on the bypass. Somebody's post from the other day.
Yeah, that's where it's headed. That's where they're digging. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not the sharpest tack in the box. But where Wendy was saying her mom lives, and the McDaniel building, I only know one McDaniel building. And that's right out there across the bypass. And when you look at the map, runs right there. I was like, hold on. No, but this was the old Scott McDaniel building. The one that's got the pillars. It sat off the road behind the old Fred's out there. Did you not live here? Did you even come into town from out in the boonies?
I lived really close to where I live now, and
so that's a no.
My parents, we always
went to Mooresville.
Yes, they grocery shopped.
You're only like 2 minutes from Mooresville.
I went to Brooklyn Elementary, so I wasn't coming to school down here, for a long time.
Did you never enjoy Fred's on a Sunday or Saturday morning?
Unfortunately, no. I missed out.
Anyway, that was my first question. I'll ask Wendy. Oh, I know. I saw it. Might drag you off. I'll ask Wendy the location where Mom's at, and then I'll look at that map again.
All I know is Mac Dunn told me that they're putting in utilities for, I guess, some. I don't know what kind of development. But
So it's not a well.
Didn't
Say no to a well.
ask him that. All he said was, the city is extending utilities to that area, an area that was annexed in 2012.
Right.
I didn't ask other questions.
So
he was out of town. He talked about that he was out of town. He'll be back tomorrow. And I thought, well, heck, I'm not going to keep bothering him if he's on vacation or whatever he's doing. I don't know.
Okay. So it may not be a well. That might have been misinformation.
Yeah.
I can't. They're a lot smarter than me over there. So I'm sure they would have noticed that.
I mean, that is well drilling equipment. So I don't know. I mean, this picture right here.
I know. I was being a little,
It
my
doesn't
favorite
mean-
word of the week, a little sarcastic, and I was just kind of leave it at that. But
You are changing the subject.
yes,
But
I was moving on.
okay, I don't know.
Anyway,
Maybe for whatever's going on over there, there aren't already lines taking city water over there, so they're. You could put in some other type of well.
in Mayor Cosmo Day, he addressed the Hacker
Oh,
construction.
what did he say, Ken?
I didn't watch all of that, Ken. Did he say they were putting a new well out there or anything?
I didn't see.
Yeah, it was shared support time, and we allowed it.
Oh, I was at Morgan
Yeah.
County Leadership Academy all day, so I haven't, and I had no reception where I was.
I know
So I
you.
missed out on
You
a
only
lot,
missed
probably.
like 400 texts from me and Corey.
Right? My gosh. I stepped 1 foot out the door,
Ding,
and
ding,
I was
ding,
like,
ding, ding,
yes. Well, I had my sound off, thank goodness. But yes, it was like 14 texts, 17 texts. I'm like, oh my gosh.
New sewer lines. No,
I mean, not vertical drilling.
That's what I
horizontal
saw,
drilling.
and that's why I was like,
Sometimes, and that's only for service lines. So,
okay.
but anyway, doesn't matter. Well, I don't know what's going on. But
If
anyway,
I ring the bell or video gets shut down,
you're changing the subject again.
I'm mean.
Let's see, what else fun stuff is in here? So, I mean, back to the grant. So, like I said, 100 postcards have gone out. So, if you received one in the mail, don't throw it away. Please consider participating. There's a phone number on there to call. It's really simple. You'll just give your identifier number that's on there. And this is for an adult over 18 years of age.
So you can't volunteer to sign up, though?
No.
It's computer picked. How does that work? Or do you know? Random program, algorithm?
Program, I don't know. Something about doing it this way gives the study coming different parts of the city. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a researcher.
But they are trying to reach out to at least 300 people.
Yes.
I hope people understand how critical this is.
Yeah, we would like to begin testing with like 150 people before the end of this year. If we can get 150 people in this year, and then 150 in next year, that would be ideal.
What is the latest in the retention pond at Eagle Valley plan that has been talked about in the past?
I haven't read.
Yeah, that's not that's not part of her group. I apologize for that. I don't think that's no one in your group's in that. That's the wasn't Doctor, weren't they looking into that a little bit?
Witch doctor.
Not a witch doctor.
Don't say.
What's her Debbie and Dr. Johnson. Yes. I knew we'd get there.
If they're doing the coal ash stuff.
Maybe not.
I mean, everybody brings it up here and there, but I don't think anybody has.
Yeah, nobody specifically tackled it yet.
I don't think anyone has like a current project or anything. But could be wrong, but I have not heard.
I know MeCAP's not.
No, this is just regarding the piece.
Right, but that's the next one. I mean, and that's right along White River, right?
Yeah,
east of it.
So if you choose to participate, like I said, you'll call a phone number. We'll take your information over the phone. We will take your name, those kinds of things. But as far as what I want to say, it's all anonymous. I mean, we have to take your information at first, but then once it's put into the computer system, it codes everything. Like everything's like cryptic. It just goes back to that number. And no one, even within our study, can see your name and your results. So it's all anonymous. So when you
discretion is
yeah. So when you call in, we'll give you instructions to go online and fill out a form, and then we'll get back with you and schedule you to come in to do the iPad assessment and the vision screening. And we're doing those at St. Martin Church and Ed Center.
Okay.
Yep, they're letting us use their space. So we'll be doing those on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
No need to apologize, Wendell. That's a good question. We appreciate it. Sorry, we don't have that information for you.
We'll be doing those on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and hopefully in the real future. And then we will schedule everybody to come back when we do the breath testing. Because in order to do that, we rent this. Well, okay, so the van that we rent that has the
breathalyzer.
It's a proton transfer reaction mass spectrometer.
See, you can't tell people that though, because that's going to run off half your crowd.
I have to read it to say it.
You'll run off half your crowd.
Proton transfer reaction mass spectrometer.
I'm not putting no proton reactor in my body.
So it's a big van that has this special equipment in it, and it analyzes the breath, right?
It's a high-tech breathalyzer,
and it can detect the levels of
in
the breath. So we have to rent that. I think it comes from somewhere in Pennsylvania, and so when it comes, we'll have it for like a weekend or for a week or something, and we'll schedule everybody to come in at that time.
So everybody's got to be lockstep at that point in time. Because the bus only comes around once.
Very expensive to rent it. So what happens is, I can't remember his name. What's that guy's name? I don't know. a scientist over there. He drives it here, and then 2 times I've driven him to the airport so he can fly back to Pennsylvania while we have the van here for like a week or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's expensive to be here.
But don't you have portable
and
units too,
those
or no?
vans are not. There aren't a lot of those vans. So that particular van has been in Ohio at East Palestine this whole time. But
Really?
I guess they built another one. So we were kind of getting worried that we weren't going to be able to have the equipment. But they're building another van, so we should be able to get it in like October, November, or something.
So what you're saying is we need to be in the van building business.
Or the proton transfer reaction mass spectrum. I don't know.
What's a spectrometer? Read it again. Proton.
It actually says It actually says spectrometer, but that doesn't make sense. Proton transfer reaction mass spectrometry is a recently it's because it's a technique. Is a recently developed technique of measuring VOCs in air in real time.
Yeah, that's determined. That's the what's taking place, but the device itself is
spectrometer.
Yeah.
Yes. So to gather,
it's a breathalyzer that gathers.
I don't know if this.
It gathers your air in the bag.
Well. It does, and I thought this had a better picture in it, but it doesn't.
What happened to the one you were giving the kids at the picnic table?
Well, it's here, but it's so small. I don't think you can't even see the bag because the table is very light, and so is the bag.
Right.
So what we would do is there's a clear plastic bag with kind of like a straw, or it is a straw.
You ever seen the hyperventilation bags that you can get on an airplane? Sometimes that drop down and they got the bag on them. Yeah, that's almost exactly what it is. Very similar.
So you'll just you'll take a drink of water out of a water bottle to clean your mouth out, and then you just begin blowing into the straw, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, into the straw until it. What are you laughing at me? Until you fill. Fill the
exit doors are here and here.
Yes, until the bag's filled, and then we will take that bag, put it in a cooler because you got to keep it cool. You got to want to keep it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it could alter it if something over here are hot. And
but what if it gets frozen?
Put it in a freezer.
But you keep it at a temperature.
Just like in a cooler. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And then we can run that air right through that spectrometer.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Now the truck gives you results instantly, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But it wouldn't give the participant results right then.
No, but that's why they bring the truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Compared to the handheld units.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Oh, this is scary stuff.
But these painless to be part of this project, and it's really important. So, like I said before, what were those dates? PCE found in the drinking water in 2002, 2005, carbon filtration installed. 2013, the EPA established the Superfund site.
10 years ago.
In 2013.
It's still going strong.
Yeah. In 2021, which is after Dr. Liu began working in Martinsville. She started working in Martinsville in 2019. Mm-hmm. And so, all of a sudden, now the EPA is going to get serious and decide what they're going to do about cleaning it up. Even though they haven't started yet. They at least started the process of deciding how they're going to clean it up.
Do you remember before you even joined these groups, the open house we had over there?
Yep, that was in 2020.
Mm-hmm. I was live there.
Yeah.
And Dr. Johnson and Debbie were just kind of talking about doing it. And that's when Wilcox jumped on board and said, we know we can beat this. He was there. I spoke to that guy.
Well, they've been hired by the insurance company. But before then, I mean, I'm just talking about even the EPA. Like, they established the fact that it was a Superfund site.
Right. They spoke about it that night.
Right. 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then they didn't do much.
Nothing.
And then when Purdue got involved and started, we started trying to do these research projects, they all of a sudden started becoming more vocal and showing up down here and testing.
Here's the frustrating thing.
So, right. But what I'm saying is this project is going to help get this stuff up. It's going to help.
It already has.
Yeah.
Because they've held us over the barrel. We were down to one good well, or one or two, and one wouldn't help. If we only had one, we couldn't do what we need to do in the city. But we couldn't build a new well there because it's a Superfund site. But we couldn't go somewhere else and build a well because then they would do nothing. So they sat on it for 7 years and kept us over the barrel, and now they're gonna start doing it.
Yeah,
which is wrong.
So
and you talk about some of the slowest folks. I spoke to them, nice guys.
Oh, yeah,
but the red tape they got to jump through.
Well, it's not them. It's
it's the red tape.
But obviously, we need the results from this study. We need the study to happen. We need it. We need to successfully finish all the, all the different phases to this project, so that we have some answers. Because it's not only going to help Martinsville, it's going to help a lot of communities. There are a lot of communities across contamination issues.
Several.
Yeah.
In the state.
Oh yeah, in the state. Well, in the country, everywhere. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, you want to talk about the So, is it year 3? Year 3, we begin doing a cancer study. So,
I hate flies.
Me too. So this cancer study isn't
cancer.
going to involve working with people or asking questions or getting people to this, but it's going to involve breaking down the cancer data registry, in the state cancer data registry, because right now it is only broken down to the county level.
Right.
Yes.
We've talked about this.
Yes. So I believe anybody can pull up this data. It's really pretty interesting. Right here, which you're not going to be able to see very well, but this is just a picture.
Per capita, #1 in the state.
For all cancers. Okay, this is cancer incidence rate. So that means that is new cancers. Morgan County has the highest cancer incidence rate in the state.
Yep.
This report is many, many pages long. It also breaks down where you can see, just breast cancer or just
types,
whatever.
types.
Different types. Yeah. We are going to take that information and we are going to break it down to the city level, and then we're going to compare Martinsville to other cities in Indiana that are demographically the same or similar to Martinsville, but not known to have a PC. And see where any differences in cancer incidence are.
The can of worms that you could open up, though, if you find a community with cancer rates high and similar to ours, and they've not done anything about it because, the powers that be have just turned their heads to it, you could say...
You mean another city that has high cancer incidence?
Yes, similar to. You could say, hey, so you guys need to check your ground soil or your history or something. Because I know there's communities out there that deal with the same thing, and it's catching more, being more well known now. But there's a lot of communities that I'm sure. Oh well. Moving on. But when was that cancer research center built out there? It was before my mom and dad died.
Oh yeah.
Because it was there. It wasn't as modern as it is now. But I remember talking to the leading oncologist. Is that correct?
Oncologist?
Oncologist. While my mom was there. And he was stationed out there. But it just... We're not even the top 10 size cities in the state. And yes, we're a donut county. But there's thousands of acres between here and Indianapolis to build a facility like that. But someone had the wherewithal to build a cancer research center here in good old Morgan County.
What year did she pass? Were your
parents you're going to put me on the...
Well...
Yeah, no, they drank the water. Lived right here.
I know, but how many years ago was it?
Dad died before the twins were born.
Oh, so that's a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what about your mom?
She died. The girls were probably. She died 3 years later. So.
I mean, I don't know how long this cancer incidence rate.
But that was 2000.
Report has been being put together.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know if this has been being done for 20 years or what have you, but I mean, if it was, this could have something to do with it. It can just show a high cancer incidence rate in the county, and they build one, or you know,
right.
or we can.
I would be curious.
Right?
You could probably go back and look at the numbers though, pretty easily.
Well, like I said, I don't know how long that's been being
monitored.
Yeah, how long that information's been being sent in and put into reports. So I don't know.
Well, hats off to you guys and Doc for staying with it and getting after it, because like you said, without doing what you guys have done, the EPA could still be going,
Right. Yeah.
And they're not now. Without bringing awareness to it, it could even be worse what it has been or gonna be. You're getting beeps over there, aren't you? You gotta pick Devin up.
No. But no, so the only study that's been done on PCE is on humans who have received high level exposure, short term. Wait, how am I going to say that?
Short term, high level exposure.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Quick dose, quick and fast.
Well, yes. So it's a degreaser. So someone in, say, a factory or something could actually take PCE, clean grease off their arms. So what happens is that causes dizziness and blurred vision and things like that.
It was used in automotive and aerospace.
Yeah, so
I'm aware of this.
Yeah, so they know that high level exposure to this product causes these issues. And like I said, who had over low level, long term.
Well, they should be able to now. You would think. When did they outlaw that? When did they outlaw trike?
I don't know.
Bet you it was around 2000.
Sorry.
Because I remember where I was working, we had to take it out. It was the best freaking cleaner I've ever seen in my life, though. you could
I bet.
put an engine block in there covered with smut and yuck for decades and drop it down in trike, and it'd come out shining like a new penny. And you're like, how in the world does that happen? But it was also killing you too. Weren't aware of that.
So in this report right here, this does say that the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act of 1976 regulated the dumping of.
That's PCE. That's it. PCB is what I was thinking in Bloomington.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So maybe dumping.
Regulated it. I think they probably trimmed it back, and then when you got to 2000, it was like, hey, we got three-eyed fish floating down White River. We got to stop. So. Right.
Yeah. So.
They got tighter and tighter and tighter. So when did the postcards come out? Are they going to hit the house?
Yeah, they went out late last week.
So they might be there now.
People have already been receiving them because we have had a few people calling the number and saying they want to participate, or calling the number and saying they don't want to participate.
Have you had people cancel?
I know at least one, that said they don't want to participate, which, it's up to that person. I mean, this is completely voluntary. And even if you say you want to do it and you start, and then there's some sort of reason that you want to stop, you're out. All you have to say is you're out. You're not held to anything. But at the different parts of the study that you participate in, you are compensated for. Only homeowners. No, it's any. So you need to receive a postcard. You can't just choose to participate. You have to be randomly chosen to participate, or your house address. So if you get a postcard, or if we come knock on your door or something like that, if you are an adult, 18 years or older, then you can choose to participate. You do not have to be a homeowner. You just have to be an adult living in the city of Martinsville.
Fair enough. Very good. You got your information out.
So, a lot of people know Stephanie Littell. She's a teacher over at Smith Elementary. She's taught for the Martinsville school system for a long time. So, if anyone has questions, you can get with her. You can get with me. Ken Belt is another. You can get Evan.
Nope.
Yes, you can. Get
I'll
with Ken
ignore
Belt. He's the band director at the high school. He's a community member involved. Get a hold of us. We'd love to answer some
Beth,
questions.
Stephanie, and Ken are the easiest ones to get, and then trickle down from there. If you get a hold of me, I'm going to send you to Beth.
He will. He will.
Because you're the one with the most out of our group knowledge in that field.
I can fake it.
I can fake it, but then they're going to come back and go, "That's not what Kevin said." I mean, I got people questioning me about Culver's when I know what's going on, but
That's right.
yeah, but
It's been platted to their name.
we can only say a little bit. We can't go full depth like that.
So this says, who can participate? We randomly picked 300 homes in Martinsville to participate in this study. We need one adult from each home to participate. If you are receiving this flyer, which it's not that flyer, this could be you.
Don't throw it away.
Selecting homes based entirely on chance allows us to make sure we are learning about all kinds of homes and people. So, what would happen if you participate? If you agree to participate, researchers will collect an air sample from your home using a mobile lab in a van, that van we spoke about earlier. You will provide an exhaled breath sample by breathing out into a Tedlar bag. So that's that clear bag that we talked about. You breathe through a straw to fill that bag. You will complete tests that measure attention, reading, reaction time, processing speed, memory, vision, and depression. You will answer questions about health conditions, exposure factors, contamination concerns, and health effects. And if you use well water, researchers will test your water. So, but pretty much have everybody off the well, I believe.
There are a few in the city that still have wells, though.
I thought they were transferred.
That was shocking to me when I heard that.
You can receive up to $95 for participating. So
wait a minute, up to now. I thought you said 95. What's the if you
only
do certain stages?
Right. If you come in and you do the iPad testing and then you drop out for whatever reason, but you come in and do the iPad testing, you're going to get paid X amount of dollars.
Right.
You come back for the breath testing, you're going to get paid a little bit. You're going to pay paid more.
That's pretty cool.
So once you complete everything, all in all, you will have received $95.
I'm no quitter. I'd go for the 95. I mean, it's 3 easy steps.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're doing it for your own good.
Yeah.
And you're getting paid.
Well, and you're doing it for
the community.
The whole community.
Right.
Yes.
Isn't she a good dog?
Yes. We do have a website. It's mecap.us. So MECAP.us. And we also have a Facebook page. You can just not Google, but .us.
Capital?
It doesn't matter. No. It's just US. I don't think any of it's none of it has to be capital. But yep. So that's the web address.
That's it. Hit enter.
mecap.us. Well, you probably have to have your www. And then the Facebook page, if you just want to search MeCAP, so MECAP, that'll take you to our Facebook group. We like to post in there. People can ask questions, keep you updated. So Dr. Saul Liu, one of our principal, one of the
Hey,
oh, you got it. Yeah.
I have been taught.
She's a co-principal investigator. She's from Purdue. And then Dr. Mary Turek, the other co-principal investigator, she is from the University of Illinois, Chicago. So we have researchers involved from Purdue, the University of Illinois, Chicago, and also researchers from, or scientists from IU. So the people from IU researchers from IU are doing the the neurological testing, so the iPad testing, vision, such like that.
A lot of intelligent folks behind this.
Yes.
Very interesting. Mm-hmm. Very, very happy that they've come along because cities needs help in this area. Has for a long time.
I went to this really scary conference a few weeks ago.
Oh, you did?
In
That's
Chicago.
Right.
It was called International.
Come on, because I can't remember it.
I was so scared. I had to be part of a panel.
You had to speak in front of like 5,000 people, didn't you?
Well, luckily there weren't that many people there, but they were all way smarter than me, of course. And
No, they
the
weren't.
International Society of Exposure Science. It was the annual meeting, and every year this meeting moves somewhere else in the world. Last year, I think it was in Portugal. Year before that, it was
Really?
somewhere. Yes.
Where's
yeah.
it at next year?
It was supposed to be in Australia, but now they're talking about that it's going to be like in the Arizona area. So
You going again?
well, I wasn't going to go to Australia, but I might go to Arizona
Zona, baby.
if they want us.
Hello, Natasha.
Yeah. So one cool thing I didn't think to talk about was this grant from the NIH is it's a special program. It's called
Why don't you pull that up?
it's called well, it's community-based participatory research. So what that means is obviously researchers are obviously part of this program, but so are community members like myself and Stephanie. And not one side or the other has more authority or more pull. We are all equal. So we make the decisions together. The researchers can't do it without the community, and obviously the community can't do it without the research.
What group am I in? What is that called?
I mean, you're still part of the whole thing, but you're on the CAB. You're on the Community Advisory Board.
Who am I advising?
The stop it. The engagement team, which is myself, Dr. Lou.
So I get to advise you guys.
Yes.
Wow,
So
now I got some authority.
So we're supposed to be updating the CAB quarterly.
You've
Is
done
that a
it.
cat? Oh no,
That's a siren.
siren.
A cat.
We're supposed to be updating you quarterly and then asking you for advice of, how do we better communicate with the community? How do we get get information out? How do we explain certain things, or who should we talk to? I don't know.
I get it. It's layered
Yeah.
to help everybody out.
Yeah. But I had to stand up at the Hilton in Chicago and
How big was the stage?
talk about the stage was huge, but and we were the last to go.
See,
So
that's the thing. Little space, you can feel all right. But a big, wide...
I was way too short for the podium. So I couldn't stand.
What about,
I did
what about
stand
the
in front.
mic?
Actually, I did stand in front of it.
Get the mic right. I bet you were red-faced.
I was so nervous for 2 straight days leading up to that.
You
You
didn't tell the word to us until you were on your way there, and then you told us.
Yeah.
I got to speak.
But as soon as I had to get up and actually start speaking,
You were fine.
I was fine. I
You're
forgot
good.
about being nervous.
You're good at it.
I did practice and read through it like 25 times.
So how many people? Guesstimate. 3,000?
There were no. I think there were 700.
Oh. It's probably more than that.
No.
You handled it like a champ, though.
Stephanie and I were up there together. We had different parts, and
Stephanie did it too?
Mhm.
I bet she was more nervous than you.
not leading up to it, but I think she was a little more nervous
Then when
when
she
got
starts
up
talking,
there.
she starts going
So
quick
we
and
kind of
says,
we kind of switched roles,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, she did great.
You're a very good public speaker. You orate very well.
Thank you, Kevin. So,
But that's look though. Look how far you've come. Look how far you've come. A year ago, would you think you would have been able to do that? You've done well. MCLA. No, we're tooting best one. MCLA, MeCAP, RD Productions, Porch Time, Mom, Wife,
Rotary,
6,000 grandkids. You got kids coming out. Your yin yangs now. Rotary. Didn't that little sweet baby just have a birthday? Adeline.
Yep. Turned 5.
Gorgeous. That little girl's so gorgeous. Yeah. So, but I mean, you do all that, and you help Mr. Matt run a business. So
a little bit here and there,
just enough to irritate him. Matt's hilarious.
Up.
And you're knee deep in the MeCAP with the plumes, folks. If you're listening and you get picked to get your house, get your breath, get all that studying done, do it. Believe me, lost my parents to cancer. My nephews had it. I'm going to be speaking to the state ALC at the Special Olympics Conference next month. There you go.
Good luck to you, Mike.
Good luck, Mike. My brother's going through it. Clearly, no pun intended, there's something in the water or something in the air. You know, look into it. If you see their postcard, jump on it. Make $95. 3 easy steps. Very little effort. That was.
What'd you say?
Someone's beeping me.
Oh. This is the same study we were working on a couple of years ago. So this particular study started last August. So August of 2022. So it's probably a new study. It's probably the kind of about could possibly be over the same subject matter, but it would be a different project. Not sure what project she's. We had a children's study a couple of years ago.
Right, the children's study, basically the same thing. Breathe it into the bag, check it, and if it's in their system that way. Then you also had walked the city trying to get into locations along the path of the plumes to have the EPA come in and check for vapor intrusion. And that didn't go very well either. Only so many businesses jumped on that.
Yeah, if you actually look, if you pay attention and actually look, walking around downtown Martinsville, you'll see they just look like manhole lids.
Yeah.
You know, they look like manholes, but they'll say monitoring well on it. Yeah. So there's special equipment in there, or at least something where they're able to gather air samples.
This has been going on for some time. So it's serious. And one of the very first show I did in this building was in that room. Now, mind you,
wasn't Tasha in the front room and you were in the breezeway area over here?
You know why I'm laughing? Because the next night was the bat night.
Yeah, the bat.
She was in my front room on her iPad,
acting like she was 100 miles away,
zooming in, and I was in here.
That was Tasha with Who's Your Action.
Yes, and there are other people that I forget who all was, but we had like 5 people on a Zoom call from across the country. And I was trying to maintain and make it right, and I was stuck in that little dungeon, and boom, done, cool, she leaves, they leave. The next night I come back in to kind of rehash it, and the bat flies between me and the camera. Yeah. That was the first show in this building. So that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep. 3 years ago this month. Next month, yeah. Been longer than that. It's 4 years ago.
I don't know. If it was 4 years ago, it would be 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And the town hall meeting would not have happened yet. Was it before the town hall meeting? Town hall meeting was like January, February-ish of 2020, I believe.
Yeah, because Who's Your Action was the first ones to jump on this. Because I was living here when, you know who got elected. Because we did all the rallies and stuff from. So that was before 2020. No, I take that back.
I don't know.
I take that back. 2016. I've been living. How long have I been living here?
I don't know.
My goodness. No, that was for his second term in 2020.
Oh.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute, something's not adding up here.
I don't know.
I don't know. I need to go sleep.
Me too.
My medicine's wearing off. But I'm better. Honestly, I'm better. You had it too, but you only had it for like 10 minutes.
I just thought mine was allergies. But since you guys were actually sick, mine might have been a little bit more than that.
My face has never.
I'm still kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
But
My face has never hurt. Like it. I felt. Remember
like, suck it up, Kevin. Come on.
Right. Remember the bees in the Bugs Bunny where the bees get stung, the bears get stung in the face by the bee and their face swells up? When I woke up Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, whatever next day was, I was like, oh my gosh, my sinuses are bad. And then I start coughing and I don't even go into what was coming up. But I go in the bathroom and I literally cannot get air out my nose at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, oh, this is horrible. So I go to work and I'm sitting there at work and I'm just sitting there talking to one of my bosses and liquid is just running down my face. And I'm like,
okay.
What
the
is
show has taken a turn.
Well, but I'm full detail because so many other people's messaged me this too. Does this what happened? I'm like, yes. So then it went from my nose to my throat to my chest. And then there was no sleeping at all unless you're like this in bed.
I hate that.
I can't because I got the bad hip and all. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, this is comfortable. And, trying to find that one. Okay, I can breathe out this nostril and my hip doesn't hurt. And the whole time you're draining and you got Vicks. I had Vicks like all in my beard and it was just everywhere. I'm taking antibiotics and all that. And finally, Friday was horrible. Saturday night, Sunday morning, I woke up and I was like, hey, I can get through one nostril now. But slowly. I know somebody's had it for 8 weeks. 8 weeks of fighting it. And they've given them steroids, and they went from amoxicillin to not penicillin, but what's the next one now? Whatever the next Ellen is, the next antibiotic. They're on that, and it's slowly defeating it. It's viral, so you probably take all the
viral. Then antibiotics won't do anything for you.
That's what I think. I think it's viral, and
I gotcha.
The antibiotics are all up here. Oh, I feel better now.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyway, but yeah, Corey had it as bad as I did, and I still don't think he's 100%. I still, at night, the drainage starts happening again. Living on halls.
That's the other thing that's really hard to sleep when you have a sore throat.
Yeah.
Or like when you're sore.
I live on halls right now. Halls lemon.
You put a lozenge in your mouth and try to go to sleep. You just pray you don't choke on it while you're sleeping.
I had my alarm clock set for 5:30 because I wanted to get up and take my medicine and lay back down for a half an hour. Popped one in, woke up at 7 with it glued to this side. Inside, but it was just stuck.
Oh, it's on the inside?
It stuck to my teeth up in the very top. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, oh, that's good.
Oh,
that's
you got to
good.
reach in there.
Pop that sucker out. I was like, but it was
Ew.
lemon. I'm not spitting that out. That's good stuff.
Ew, lemon?
Lemon Halls.
Oh, I have to do cherry.
Oh,
yes.
Cherries, Ludens, the cough drops. There's no way. You're too young. But when those first came out.
I'm too young. I'm not that much younger than you.
But yes, when Cherries, Ludens first cough drops, when I first got introduced to them, first grade, and they were in this box, and they were in like a wax wrapper. But you open the little carton about this big, and they had like 90 packed in there, about that big. And if it got warm at all, it was just one big Luden, cherry Luden. But they're like, eat one or two a day. That box was gone by noon every day. I love them. But then I get introduced to the big Halls lemon. Those are a bit much, but I like the smaller ones. I pound those.
It keeps flashing. It keeps making taking my
time. See, my medicine's wearing off. Time to put my Spidey onesie on and go to bed.
Aww.
No, yeah. Feeling much better though. At least I can breathe now. But Logan, 2 days into it, went from this to bronchitis just like that. She went to the ER, and they got her on all sorts of yummy stuff. So, but she said she feels much better tonight. So I talked to her.
Good.
Anyway, thank you. I hope
You're
a lot of
welcome.
people participate that get the cards. And if you get a card, post it on the site. Normally I say, hey, send it to me and I'll post it. If you don't want to do that.
Yeah, because it'll
Makes
have
sense.
somebody else's number,
Makes sense.
address, and that kind of stuff. But if I can get a hold of a postcard that doesn't have that information on it, I check with Monica to see if she gets.
Thanks, Mike. Hey, not to change the subject, but Peyton's showings tomorrow, correct? Is it 1 to 6? Am I incorrect in saying that?
I know it's until 6. I just can't remember when it starts.
At Neil and Summers, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. For everybody that's on here or is going to watch this, Peyton did pass Sunday evening. Yeah. And so showing hours are from 1 to 6, I believe, at Neil and Summers. Either 1 to 6 or 2 to 6, one of the two. And I'm going to try to make it. I'm going to try to get out of work early. I know it's football night, and their son plays. So try to get by there at least, give him a hug, and go from there. But get a chance, stop over there tomorrow evening. Thoughts and prayers to the family. Good people. Kyle and Ashley. So anyway, that was a long night.
Yeah.
We were ready to kill each other at the end of that, all three of us. And Yogi too. All right, Beth, you got anything else?
If you won an auction item 2 Sundays ago, come pick it up.
Yeah.
Come get it.
Everybody's paid. We've already gave them the money.
Or I'll take it home. I'll find something over there. It's cool.
The hat's going to be gone soon enough.
Who got the hat? I forget.
Shrake.
Oh.
But the other stuff I forget. The one gal.
Have names on them.
Yeah, the one gal I talked to, Carl. He's going to mail her the vacation thing. I've dropped all that. I have signs. People want signs. I just got sick and I said pushed it to the back burner. So slowly this week I've been weeding it out. So that's it though. That's all we got left on that table. I got
like there's several things over there though.
Yeah, small things. I don't know, if I paid money, I'd want to come get it.
I know.
And I'm here in the evening, every evening.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for paying.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we did give him the
waiting for both.
cash.
Yep.
Give it all to him. Did we write that down? 30,500, roughly.
1,500 something. Yeah.
That's the new winner.
Yeah, for sure. Be a long time before we write
That'll
something
be a
like that.
toughie.
Yeah.
That'll be a toughie. But man, she captured the hearts of this community in 1 minute. So, all right, I gotta go take medicine. Thanks, Beth. Anything final? Closing thoughts?
Watch for a postcard. It has this really pretty green color on it and a picture of community members. Follow the instructions. Please participate, or even just let us know that you do not plan to participate so that we can move on to another address. Because otherwise, if we don't hear from you, we're going to have to come out, we're going to knock on the door, we're going to leave a door hanger or something. So it's going to require more labor from us, So if you already know you don't want to do it, let us know. Or
no questions asked.
Yeah, no questions asked, of course. Yeah, but we would love for you to participate.
All right. Thank you, guys. Love you. Back on tomorrow night with Corey, Ciderwoods Field, and I'm going to cough. I got to get off here. We'll see you tomorrow evening. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.